this is 20 Express, and it's a little game that took my imagination. I was quite quite surprised when I played this, because you don't actually play with anything. You just play with a pad and a pencil. You don't have pieces to play with or anything like that, which is quite unusual. And you don't roll anything or anything like that. It's just one person takes tiles out of a bag, and the bag here is everything here is homemade. There's nothing here that's not homemade. And the bag is homemade. It's made out one of my t-shirts. But anyway, there are 40 tiles, and they run from 1 to 10 twice, and then they go from 19 to 11 to 19, and then the 20th tile is a star. That's why they call it 20 Express. And that style tile there it counts as anything. There's only one of them, and then after that it runs as normal. The letters run as normal, so you get 21 to 30, and there's 40 of them, but only 20 are laid. And I thought the game needed a little something extra to make it into a little board game. When all I've done is put 20 tiles on a board, 20 spaces on a board, and put the name on 20 Express, so you can put the tiles on, so you know when you've got 20 tiles played out. Because I played a game and I thought, well, I'm a number short here, and when I counted the tiles, there were 20 tiles out, but I'd only counted 19, so somebody could fiddle on that. So I thought, well, that would eliminate that. If there's anything that can go wrong with the game, I'll find it. But anyway, it doesn't hurt anyway, and it didn't take me long to do, but it's not part of the makeup and you don't actually need it, but I just thought it made the game look a little bit more substantial. And you get a scorecard. I've printed out 3 or 4 of them, and the game lasts about between 5 and 10 minutes or something like that, not very long. And this scorecard is filled in, but it runs from, there's 5 along here, 10 along there and 5 along there, so there's 20 carriages, and it's a little train, so it goes round in a circle, and it's a continuous thing. It's not broken at the corners or anything. It just continue around, so when you're putting the numbers on, they'll continue around the corners. And there's a score chart here for how you score and what the maximum scores is. The minimum score is a 0, which is 1 tile, which you don't score anything for. And then there's a maximum score of 20 tiles, which is that, where you score because you've got them all in sequence, and that'll explain in a minute. And then when you've got your sequences and you count them up, like this, if you've got 3 in a sequence, 1, 2, 3, there's 1, 2, 3, they're in sequence. So you'd say 1, 2, 3, that would give you 3 points. So you put 3 points in there, and then you'd carry on. 7 and 9 is a sequence, so you get 1 for that, put the 1 there. Then you get 2 and 12. 6 is not a sequence because it's a lower, it's descending now, so you've got to be ascending. They don't have to be consecutive, as long as they're ascending, as long as the next number's higher than the last number. It can be a 30, this can be a 1, that can be a 30, as long as they're ascending numbers. That means the first one is lower than the second one, and so on. You count them up and you get, like here I've got 1, 2, 3 on that one, and you put the score in, then you get 1 for that one, 1 for that one, and 1 for that one, and then you count up the score: 7, 1, 5, 3, 1, 1, 1, 9. I scored 19, and I regularly score 19. It must be my average score, because I had another game. I couldn't resist it. You've got to have it's one of them games where you've got to have another game. I found it so. Other people might not think so, but I found it irresistible. Anyway, that's the sheet. And what happens basically is that oh yeah, I did the rules, and I printed out the rules. I couldn't find the rules anywhere, the proper rules, so I printed my own out. There are some which people express their opinions and here's how you play and things like that, but they're a little bit iffy and butty. They're very cleverly put, but they're too clever for me. So, and that's a game there in progress. You can see there with the tiles laid out on the table, which is, you can do that quite happily. I mean, four people playing, and you get one of them boards each, one little card each, and then you just count off. And they've got a red bag, 20 Express, and mine's a blue one, but mine's homemade. But mine's special because that's probably an armpit one. That probably came from my armpit. Anyway, they're easy to make bags. I've got a video on how you make bags. But so the one with the highest score is the winner. And I suppose you can play several rounds. And if you play for an hour, you should soon use one of them things. But the people that do this, I think it's Orange, or yeah, the Orange Games people. They've got a little thing out where you can print extra sheets if you want them on your bubble jet printer or your whatever. It's only black and grey, so you're not going to use a lot of thing, and you can print out quite a few before you sort of run out of ink. Yeah, so what happens is that you put all the tiles in a bag, so all the tiles go into the bag. So that's my little board. All the tiles go in a bag, and what happens is somebody comes along who's the dealer, and they take out a tile and they say that it takes it from the bag so nobody else can see it, and the first one is a 17. So what you do then is you look at this card. This is a blank one, a brand new one. It's a little bit hard to know it's blank. You put your name on there, and then along these 20 carriages you put in where you think that number should go. So if you think it should go there, don't forget that there are it numbered from 1 to 30, and there's only 20 on here. This is what makes it a bit difficult. It's the choices of where to put. They could have called this choices or something else, really. 20 Express choice or whatever. But that's the hard bit. And I don't know how clever you've got to be, but I can't seem to get anywhere above 19. I keep trying and I can't get above 19, so I must be pretty thick. But a guy played it on Vaisy, on the dice tower or tower dice or whatever, and he's a pretty good lad for explaining things to you. And I think he got 40 and he wasn't even trying. I felt rather embarrassed. But anyway, so then you lay another tile, and the next tile is a 4. So where are you going to put the 4? Because not forgetting that there's two 4s. So you could get another 4 coming out. So where are you going to put 2 4s on there if another one comes out? And there's 2 5s and there's 2 6s. So now it begins to get hard. So you've got to outguess the bloke taking the things out of the bag. And if a star comes up, everybody can use that star as whatever they like. And normally you'd put it on 29 or 30, because there's only one 29 and there's only one 30. So it's probably worth putting it on the 30. It came out a little bit early there. It should have come out a little bit later to help you in your sequences. But yeah, and you carry on 16, and draws another card, and then you put that on your sheet, and you count it on your sheet. And I'm not going to go into the rules and everything. This is just a continuation from a little video that I've been making about, because I make games. I copy games, really. I shouldn't. It's a naughty thing to do, but I only do it for myself and my own amusement and everything. I don't do it for anybody else. And I just put on sort of YouTube, because I only get about half a dozen hits anyway. But it keeps me occupied, and it keeps me off the streets, and it keeps me a good boy. So I do enjoy doing this. But yeah, as I say, the only thing different is nothing about the rule book or anything like that. But the board, I thought it could have done with a board, and that was quite easy to do actually. It wasn't anything too difficult. Anyway, I'll stop there and stop blathering, and yeah, it's made in it because I do bookbinding as well, so I find these quite easy to do. So most people probably wouldn't dream of making one of these in any case, and messing about with the tiles. It does take a considerable time to make a game, so it's probably cheaper to buy it. And by the time you bought the tiles, because these are quite expensive, these little pieces of wood, and they are painted, and then you've got to print out the stuff on your bubble jet, and then you've got to get the card, then you've got to print paper, then you've got to print out the rules and find the rules, then you've got to print that out on. So it's probably not, and you've got to make a bag and everything else. So it's probably worth buying. I don't think it's expensive, the game. I have checked. I think they're all within about, I think from America, I think they're between $9 and $14 or something like that, most of them. And by the time you get to England, it's probably about £5 or £6 up on that. So you're getting, this is a very good game. I would can't think of the word, it's gone out of my head. I would sort of guarantee this game to anybody, children especially, because it's a real fun game. And I've been playing it on my own. I've been waiting for my daughter to come, but she hasn't come yet. But when she does come out, we'll give this a really good bashing. It's a sort of it's a light game. They will keep saying light, but it's got several clever little functions in it, which make it work. I don't know what it is, something about it that makes it work, and it's very, very enjoyable. Anyway, I won't keep you hanging around any longer, and I'm not going to tell you how it works or anything like that, because I can do, but there's a lot of other people. Vazzy, he tells you very well, and the Games Boy Geek, he does one on this, I think, as well, and there's other people that tell you how it works and everything, and it's quite a simple game. You don't even need the rules, but the only thing is you must go on your turn. When it's your turn, you must go. And the other thing I found out was there is no 20 on the board. So if you're looking for a 20, there isn't one, because the star is the 20, because it's called 20 Express. So the star is the actual 20, and that's a free tile. So the star is the number 20. Anyway, I'll stop there and wish you a good gaming.